He's like in these beautiful denim jeans that I designed for him and my shop made for him.
Janie Bryant created the looks for 1923, from Spencer's gritty steamboat style to Alexandra's angelic traveling outfits. She breaks down how each costume tells you exactly who these characters are. Let's dive into this mood board here. We see this outfit that Spencer wears on the steamboat. Let's start on what kind of research you did going into that beginning of season 2 for these scenes.
Well, I was really researching European ships during this time in the early 1920s. And, I really wanted Spencer to wear these high-waisted jeans because, denim was invented in 1848 and it was really used for workwear. So, not until like 40s and 50s did it become teen wear. So I was like, the jeans have to come up to the rib. That was, I just love that whole period style look with the jeans. And also I'm always like, let's just make your legs look as long as possible. So, that's my style. And it's the style of the period too. He's like in these beautiful denim jeans that I designed for him and my shop made for him.
What about this shirt? It's sort of like a Henley V-neck thing?
Yeah, because, it's so hot on the ship. And they were shoveling coal. And so I just really wanted him to project that heat while we see him in those scenes.
What was Brandon's reaction when you put him in this costume? Did he like it? Did he not like it?
He loved it because he's all about like totally going for the period, and he loves the accuracy. And when he's in the costume, he doesn't really have to think about his clothing. It's just like embodies him and helps him with him being Spencer.
Were the overalls or the suspenders a popular thing in these European steamboats?
Yeah, suspenders and belts. Belts were kind of like in fashion in the early 1920s.
Now, this next section is called Tag It. So what I'm going to do is show you 5 photos, and I want you to describe the costume in 3 words or less. And then we can kind of dive into, why you picked those words. So the first one, we're going this outfit for Jacob.
Rancher, hardworking, weathered. I have an amazing team of agers and distressors. So, after I design and we fit the costumes on the actor, all of those costumes go to my ager and dyer team, and they start distressing and aging all the pieces.
Can you describe this look in 3 words or less?
Dramatic, craftsy, and beautiful. I love all of the embroidery, and I felt like that she would be at home, like doing all the embroidery on that robe. And also like her palette and Jacob's palette is very dark, like more on the darker tones. So I loved the rich brown and the texture of that wool. And I just felt like she would be doing all the embroidery on that robe.
This one from Spencer, and we kind of mentioned it, this is on the steamboat as well, but this one has a couple layers to it. You have that Henley thing underneath, but it's also the longer sleeves rolled up.
Gritty, dirty, sultry. This is, I call this outfit the Texas tuxedo.
Okay, I like that.
I know, he's like blue on blue, denim on denim. It's actually chambray and denim and the Henley. But anyway, he looks gorgeous.
Next one I want to talk about is Alexandra.
Angelic, pretty, and traveling. When Taylor and I talked about Alexandra, she is always in a very, very pale palette. So it's the whites, the ivories, the peaches, the pinks, the lavenders, the pale blue. Her whole entire palette is very pale in tones. When she's traveling as well, I wanted her to be in light tones. Also can't really stand out so much because she's traveling in second class. So it was a very careful balance of how I was going to design her costumes. So the coat, it's the window pane. And when she actually gets on the boat, I have a matching skirt with that coat. And I also wanted that coat to be very versatile with all of her costumes. So it was kind of like a puzzle piece, like putting all those elements together.
Now, the last one I want to talk about is Tiona.
Masculine. It was very important for her to have a contrast from her costume that she had at school. And so, it just, those tones really worked out, just being like very contrast from that uniform. And also like her costume in the season, it is very masculine, to hide the fact that she is a girl. So, it was just the perfect thing for her.
What's one design choice in the series that felt like a risk at the time, but totally paid off afterwards?
Harrison Ford's hat. That hat is very tall and more in the vein of like a true 1920s hat. And, when he first put it on, it took me a moment to be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing. And then, I would see it on the monitor and it was very tall. I was like, oh God, I hope this goes over well. I love that hat so much, and the shape of it is perfect, and I call it the Jacob.
What's one detail that only the actor and you knew was there?
Definitely the garters on a lot of the actresses and also the underpinnings. We didn't see them a lot of times, but I always make the actors wear all the underpinnings because it creates like a different silhouette. They feel the period more. And so I love all the underpinnings of the period.
This is probably my favorite costume of the entire series at the end of season 1. So I want to ask you, do you think Julia would wear this in real life?
Absolutely. Maybe with not the headpiece, but yeah, she would wear the dress. Definitely indicative of the 1920s. The dress is all fringed and, I love fringe anyway. And I wanted her to be in fringe because of the dancing and just like see all of those elements move while she's dancing. And also, it's like I just envisioned her in being in like white or silver, something that ivory white, just like something that totally shined off the dance floor because she's like an angel.
With every thread and detail, Janie Bryant brought the 1920s to life in the most dynamic way. What's your favorite 1923 costume? Comment down below. And thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more exclusive behind-the-scenes insights from your favorite TV shows and films.